Hey Burnout Crew, welcome back to the Burnout Block. So today is kind of a fun episode. We're going to be stripping out the rest of the G6. If you follow our Instagram, you've seen the progress that we've been doing on it. So today we're going to make a video cutting out the carpet in the front seat area, which will require getting out the driver's seat and passenger seat. The passenger seat's already unbolted. We got that out the other day. The driver's seat we're going to have to unbolt, get those out, and we're going to cut out the carpet around there. And then essentially about probably 75% of the interior is stripped out. The rear speakers are still in, the door speakers are still in, because I haven't found a company that can do custom door panels yet. And obviously we're just going to stick to the stock seats for now because I don't have racing seats yet. But nevertheless, we still have the interior pretty much stripped out other than the stuff we're going to do today. We're also going to be trying to fix our underglow. The other day, I noticed the underglow on the driver's side of the G6 was cutting out. Only about 3 inches of the driver's side was on, and the rest of the strip was not working. So we're going to try to figure out what's wrong with that. Today we might also be doing a custom muffler delete, which will be just parts from our auto store. Just taking out that big heavy muffler we have, adding a little bit more sound. October 13th and October 27th, we will be at Killcare in Xenia, Ohio for Test and Tune. If you want to come by and say hi to us, we'll be there with the G6. We might bring the Cruise just to see what kind of slow times it runs. I have a feeling it might run sometimes like the Eclipse did. Nevertheless, this is going to be a fun episode, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. Alright, so we got the car jacked up here. We got our new 1320 video sticker on there. I've been waiting to put that one on. We got it jacked up. Paige was able to fix the underglow on this side. Basically, only this area right here was on instead of the entire side length of the driver's side. And she found that the wire that was going into this side was loose. So she tightened it up and taped it. That way it stayed together. And now it's working again. Now that we have this jacked up, we'll come under here. As you can see, we got the bolt-on exhaust tip that we put on a while ago. But we have this big rear muffler here that we're hoping to delete. So what we're looking at is we got the pipe coming back there. It's a 2 1/4 inch pipe, and then we got the pipe coming out of the muffler to the tip here. My thinking is we can either cut the muffler out and just run a exhaust dump right here underneath the underneath the bumper. That might work. My only fear is that it might get too hot and melt the bumper, but I'd have to see. The other idea is that we could run a pipe along and then just meet it with this curved piece right here to the tip and basically just do a full actual muffler delete and run it to the back bumper. That's what I'd like to do. Unfortunately, it'll have to be a clamp setup. We don't have access to a welder right now. So my thinking with that is we'll have to figure out a way to do an exhaust hanger right here because we don't have a welder. So if we were to run a pipe all the way over here, we'd have to find some kind of metal wire that we could hang up here to be a temporary exhaust hanger since we don't have access to weld it directly to the new pipe. And also, like I said, it'll have to be clamped together for right now because we can't weld the pipes together, which is fine. I wanted something temporary because I plan on doing a full custom exhaust all the way up to the headers next season. So this is just going to be something temporary for the end of the year. Just something fun that I've been wanting to do for a while. So for now, we're going to have to take the measurements of what we're going to need pipe-wise. We might get mandrel bent pipe to put across the bottom to have a custom piece to the rear exit, or we might just do an exhaust dump. We'll probably decide once we're at the store, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and take the measurements, and then we'll update you once we get back. Alright, so we made a little trip over the storage unit. We picked up the Sawzall, that way we can cut the exhaust. We went to the parts store. We picked up a 18-inch piece of pipe here. That's 2 1/4 inch just to fit the factory piping. This will probably be the horizontal piece that would replace the muffler from where the exhaust meets the muffler all the way over to the tailpipe. That is 18 inches across. We also picked up a 45-degree angle pipe as well, plus a 12-inch turn down in case we just want to do a dump. The store only had 2 clamps though, so we're going to have to get creative on how we do this. The first step is going to be getting the underglow out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and move the underglow out of the way, that way we don't accidentally cut it. Then we'll mock up kind of how we want the pipe to go, and then we'll show you guys the installation. Alright, so we got the exhaust tip off. We got the underglow wires moved out of the way so we can go ahead and cut it. I want you guys to hear what it sounds like with the stock exhaust first, and then after we do all the work, you guys will hear what it sounds like afterwards. So now that you guys heard what that sounds like, what we're going to do is, now that these wires are out of the way here, we're going to come back here where the pipe goes into the muffler, cut it off after the connector, or after the hanger that is. That way we still have support there. This whole muffler will come out. Once that's out, we'll have to take out this little clip up here as well where it hangs right here. Once that comes out, the muffler should drop down after both is cut and gotten out of their hangers. We're going to try to salvage this 90-degree turn right here to use later. I don't know if we're going to be able to have enough clamps to run a pipe all the way over, because we only have 2 clamps like I said. So if not, we'll just dump it right under here with that turn down piece, and then we'll get a custom hanger to probably mount around here somewhere, or maybe back there. We'll have to see how it goes, but we're going to go ahead and start cutting. Show you guys the progress along the way. Alright, so we got the muffler cut. As you can see, we got it right there. Cut through like butter. Took only about a minute or two. So now we just got to get both of the hangers off of each side. This should slide right out. Then we'll have a nice open area to try to fab up a pipe. That way we can get this all wrapped up. So we got the muffler cut off, as you can see. Got a lot more room under here now. We're gonna figure out a way to set up the pipes so we can hopefully get it to the back bumper. If not, we'll just dump it. But before that, we're gonna have Paige hold the camera, and we're gonna do an honorary startup just to see what it sounds like. After fiddling around with a couple different configurations of the pipes that we got, we think just dumping it right here would be completely fine. Got my phone flashlight here. You see, it just comes right off the pipe there, the stock one, and connects and just dumps right underneath where the spare tire would be. There's about 6 inches between these underglow strips and the exhaust, so I think there'll be plenty of room, especially because if there's air going under the car, it's not like it's sitting there heating up and melting the lights. And this is all protected under here with underbody spray, so it's protected, it's not going to get hot. There's nothing in the back anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. And the fuel tank's all the way up there, so nothing to worry there. We're just going to run that. This little cutout here, it didn't sound too bad, honestly. That little startup that we didn't sound too bad. It sounded pretty smooth. After we got it all wrapped up, we got Paige working on the carpet right now on the passenger side, just because the seat's already out. We'll go take it for a spin and see how it sounds. But for now, we're just going to finish this up. So we got the underglow wrapped up. We got the clamp on here. This is what it looks like. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll look cool like that. I think it'll sound better for sure. The other side's wrapped up as well. As you can see, Paige was also able to get the carpet on the passenger side stripped out. So that is all taken out. This is all bare metal now, just with the coating on it. Everything's stripped out back here. We still have the driver's side to do. We just got to get the seat out first, and then we'll take that carpet out. I am keeping this door seal right here just because it holds a nice backing against the actual door seal, so it keeps water out. This gets a little bit flimsy when this plastic piece is gone, so we're going to keep that in. Other than that, just vacuuming everything out. As you can see, there's like some candy wrappers in here and random dirt and stuff. We'll vacuum that out real quick before we hook back in the seat. Paige did a nice wiring job here, wrapping this back up so we know what connects to the seat. There's 2 connectors, one for the airbag and then one for main control, even though it's a manual seat, which is kind of weird. So we're going to go get the other seat taken out and that carpet taken out. We'll show you what the interior looks like, and then we will take it for a test drive. Hey, so fun fact, it's been about a week. I wasn't feeling good on the day we recorded all the stuff you just saw. I had a really bad headache. Paige wasn't feeling well, so we decided to take a break that day. Ended up being about a week, so we're back. Well, Paige isn't. I'm here. I'm going to get the carpet taken out of the driver's side like we just talked about a week ago for me, but like 10 seconds ago for you guys. Because we have about 3 days till we go to KillCare on the 13th, and we need to make sure we get that stuff done. So we're going to go ahead and finish knocking that out. Sorry for the delay. That video should have been up a week ago, but like I said, I just wasn't feeling it that day. I was super tired. I had a headache. No room for excuses here. Let's just knock this out real quick. Alright, so just like on the other side, we're going to pop this little panel out here. We're going to take the carpet out. We're going to have to get the seat out first. If you guys remember, I talked about having subwoofer wiring in here when we first stripped it out. There is a whole bunch of subwoofer wiring in here that runs all along through here and up into the dash. So we're not going to worry about that right now. I might cut it like back here. It isn't hooked into anything, so it's just sitting. So I can technically cut those cords and it won't be a problem. But we're not going to really worry about that right now. We're mainly going to worry about getting the seat out, getting the carpet out, and then putting everything back together so that we're ready to go for Thursday night test and tune at KillCare. I wanted everything to be stripped out and ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and get to work on this. So the setup to get these seats out is actually pretty simple. There's one T20 torque screw right here that you have to undo to loosen this plastic piece. And then once you come down here, there's a T50 screw right here that holds in your seatbelt mounting point. And then there's two kind of hard to see ones. There are two T50 screws back here on each rail. It's kind of hard to see. I don't have my light right now, but you can see them down there. Once you loosen both of those, you pull the seat up, angle it, and pull it out, and it'll just pop right out. Super simple. So as you can see it's loose now. Everything's unbolted. So I'm going to go ahead and finagle this out of here. While you're at it, don't forget about your airbag wires. And just like that, now we have the seat out. You can see where the rail goes in like I was talking about. Where you have to tilt it, pick it up, and slide it out. You can see the bolt holes over here. Other than that, pretty simple. So we're going to go ahead and get the mats out. We're going to move the wires out of the way so we can get the carpet out, clean up a little bit, and then we'll be good to go. So just to see where these little blue and red wires went, I took off this little G6 side panel here, and they were just laying down in here like this. Not connected to anything, so that's good. So I went ahead and took them out. Now we're going to go ahead and take out these little carpet panels, basically. They're already cut up. We will have to cut along here, just like on the other side, because I don't want to take this out yet, but it should be pretty quick and easy. And just like that, the entire driver's side stripped out here. All vacuumed out, ready to go. Now eventually, all this sound deadening that's on here will come out as well. We're going to get dry ice. If you've seen Chris Fix's video about his BMW 24 Hours of Lemons car, he did the same trick. He got some dry ice, put it in here, and then smacked all this out with a hammer, because basically the dry ice freezes all the sound deadening to where you can smack it and it cracks a glass. So we'll eventually get around to that to make this even lighter. I think he got like 36 less pounds for the car just by taking out all the sound deadening. So whenever we get around to it, now that it's all stripped out, we'll go ahead and do that. But since we only have a couple days till KillCare, this will work for now. So we're going to go ahead, get the panels back in, get the seat back in, and then we'll take it on a test drive so you guys can hear the new exhaust. we're in the G6. You guys saw the video of me pulling out of the garage. You saw the revving video. Don't worry, like I said, it's just water coming out of the back, just because it sits so much that water's building up in there. It's all good, it's not coolant, don't worry about it. It's a little raspy, definitely a lot louder than it was, but yeah, for sure, very raspy, very loud as well. We're about to take it for a test drive so you guys can hear what it sounds like up to speed. I don't like it that much. I'll be honest. I don't like it that much, but this isn't something that's going to be forever. This is something that I want to do temporarily because I just wanted a little bit more sound out of the car for when we take it to the track. I feel like the muffler was really restricting airflow for it, and it really sounded like it was wheezing whenever you revved it. So I wanted to just open it up a little bit. Next season I plan on doing a full custom exhaust for it, like from the cats all the way back. I might even do a custom set of headers. Just depends on where the engine's at by then, if we want to do a swap, if we're ready to, if we have the facility and the money to be able to do the swap yet, or if we just want to go ahead and get a custom set of headers. We'll decat the car, we'll do a cat delete, we'll get a custom straight pipe with maybe a performance resonator on there just to get rid of some of that rasp. But for the most part, it's going to be a full custom exhaust. At least that's what the plan is. For seats, I hope to eventually get some racing seats. If not, I might just get some stock Recaros from a Cobalt SS, because the G6s and the Cobalts share the same seat bolt pattern. But then again, the reason I might get race seats is because the aftermarket brackets for seats for Cobalts are the same way. They match up as well. Same way for the steering wheel. I might get a quick disconnect steering wheel, just because I don't like the big chunky steering wheel that's in here. I feel like it takes up a lot of space, and it's, I don't know, it's just a big steering wheel. I feel like having a nice smaller one would be great. We also, don't forget, we have the gauge cluster swap coming up. I'm not going to do the cruise control swap where you swap out the buttons on the stock steering wheel for two reasons. One, because you have to do a separate wire and you have to run it through the stock wiring for the gauge cluster, and I don't feel like doing all that. Two, because I'd also have to buy aftermarket buttons to go with the steering wheel, and if we're going to get a quick disconnect and I'm going to get rid of the steering wheel, there's really no reason to. It'll suck because we won't have cruise control, but if this is just a track car, then it's whatever. The only time I can see that being annoying is if we take it on a race week or something like that eventually. Driving, you know, hundreds of miles would be really annoying without cruise control. But then again, I could always add it back on if I wanted to. If I wanted to stop being lazy and actually do the wiring, then I could always do it. I'm more worried about getting that aftermarket, well, not aftermarket, but that different upgraded gauge cluster in here, so it looks a little bit better than the one we have in now. I also won't be doing the stereo or HVAC swap either. I'll just leave it how it is, because then you start messing with, you know, changing the ECU information that goes to the radio and having to relocate that, and I don't feel like doing all that. So just the gauge cluster for appearance. Nevertheless, I'll stop talking. I'll get to us going on a test drive. So this is it, about 20 miles an hour, going through the neighborhood, windows down. It's not too bad at low speeds. It sounds about like the stock one was. It really doesn't get super raspy until you hit about the 3,000 RPM range. But driving through, you know, obviously you've got it gutted. It's got the muffler delete. It's honestly not that bad at low speed. Once you start getting up to speed, especially if you're accelerating quick, it does get pretty raspy. And with it being stripped out, it rattles a lot. So that's just speeding up a little bit there. You can hear it get a little bit louder. Honestly, it's not too bad though. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be for raspiness. I thought it was going to be like rattling the crap out of the car. And it does a little bit when you're speeding up. You hear a rattle in the back a little bit. But since it's not a daily, I don't think it's that bad. Now, if I were to daily drive this still, I think it would be pretty bad. I'm gonna do an acceleration test up here with the windows up so you guys can see what the interior sounds like. So this is with the windows up. It's not too bad, little rattly. So we're gonna do a hard acceleration with the windows up. That was just a 0 to 60 right there. As you can tell, it's pretty raspy. Like I said, once you get up in those higher RPMs, it gets pretty loud and definitely rattles some stuff around. But really, it's not too bad. That's just something, obviously, if you're going full send, it would be pretty annoying. But other than that, I mean, really, it's only when you're at full acceleration that you're really rattling the crap out of the car. So next, we're going to go over to the highway. We'll do getting on the highway with the windows down, so you can see the difference in noise. Even right now, windows down, cruising about 40 miles an hour, really not too bad. Really not too bad at all. So this is cruising on the highway at 70 miles an hour. Honestly, you get more noise coming from the tires and the road than you do from the exhaust, which is good and bad because you don't have to deal with the raspiness and the drone of the exhaust. But I thought that the road noise was bad before. It's really bad now with just bare metal. We'll do one more pull onto the highway with the windows up to try to get rid of some of that wind noise. That was 70 right there, just on the entrance ramp. So really, it's not that bad. Obviously, raspy like we've been talking about, but I think that's mainly that raspiness noise is coming from inside the car. Just a bunch of washers and stuff being shaken, purely because of the vibration of the exhaust right against the bottom of the vehicle. But really, it's not that bad. I think for a track car, it provides a lot more noise. Provides a lot more of an aggressive tone than the stock sound, especially with the air intake. I think it makes the car a lot louder now that we have the intake side and the exhaust side done. Now, obviously, the exhaust side isn't fully done yet, like we were talking about getting a custom one next year. But I am very excited to see how this car would feel once we do that Ecotech swap that I've been wanting to do. I think really when it hits the VVT is when it gets a lot louder. About that 2,500 to 3,000 RPM range when VVT kicks in is really where you get that bump up in noise. Other than that, it's not too bad. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you liked the new exhaust and the way that we stripped out the rest of the G6. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more content on the way. Like I said earlier, we have 3 days till we go to KillCare. We'll also be there October 27th for the final day of test and tune for the season. So if you want to come out and see us, come see us down at KillCare the 13th and the 27th of October. We're looking forward to making some more content. I think we're only going to take the cruise on the 27th. I don't know if I want to take it yet or not. I know I said before that I want to take the cruise and the G6 to see what kind of times they would run, but I don't really know if I want to take the cruise yet, because if I blow up my daily, then we got an issue. I also wanted to let you guys know that we have a new line of merch coming out. We're also still working on our Burnout Block photography page, so keep an eye out for both of those. We're going to be posting details about the new fall merch drop soon, so follow us on Instagram if you aren't already. Details about that will be coming out soon. We'll get some pictures released so you guys can see what the designs look like. These designs look really cool. I'm really excited with the way these turned out. We might have hoodies, we might have long sleeves, t-shirts, that kind of jam. We might also come up with some more stickers. I'm kind of brainstorming as I go along. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram at Nathan_BurnoutBlock. Follow the Burnout Block at the Burnout Block on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.